Dave here from Old Rigs Down Under, just at the Coleambally Vintage Show, which is a town south of Griffith, New South Wales. Yeah, this is a mate of mine's B61 that he's restored. Only the second owner of this truck, so absolute credit to him. Was a single drive from new, but yeah, had a 34,000 pound back end put under it back in the 80s or late 70s, I think. It's got the quad box. Yeah, so the mate of mine worked it for a good while. Worked it for 15 years or so, 20 years. And it's been painted up now for almost 10 years, I suppose. Just do a quick walk down amongst the trucks here. There's a couple of familiar ones in there. So here's the my brother's Cool Power. You've seen this one on the video. Yeah, not obviously restored or cleaned up too much, but just definitely in its working clothes. I've had plenty of people stop and look at it and comment about it. It's one thing that I see it shows a little bit now. People are always quite interested to see the old ones, the unrestored ones. Just as much as they are the restored ones. The old Ford, first on race day. Just a really good original old truck, this one. Just how you'd see one on the farm. These guys had a few Fords, had a couple of, had a Cargo and a Louisville. Yeah, this one's just had the lazy axle fitted. We carted a lot of weight, a lot of grain, I'd say, these blokes at Borey Creek, which is a little rural village about an hour away from here. Here's a 1970F model. There's the one my family restored back in 2005. So it's got the 237 Maxidine 6-cylinder with a max 6 speed. So the paint job on it is almost 20 years old. Gave it a little bit of a cut and polish last year, and yeah, just keeps on coming up, this truck. It's got a really good colour, it's really good paint. Did spend a fair bit of time outside in those 20 years. But yeah, certainly one that I'm proud of. And yeah, that the family's proud of, and it just keeps on coming up. So, and next to it, here's my old Flintstone, 1967 R615. So got the old V8, END 864, naturally aspirated. Started off at about 250 horsepower in about 1963, 1962. This one was towards the end of their run, so like I said, a 67 model, and they got them out to about 280 horsepower. Just by a pump setting and probably slightly higher pressure injectors, but they weren't overly successful. But they are quite collectible now, just because there wasn't too many of them around. there was there was 25 R615s that come to Australia. 5 of those we know of did have plastic bonnets, like the fiberglass bonnet. So we reckon about 20 Flintstones. There's no way to tell other than going through the build records of every single one if they were available. But yeah, fairly rare truck anyway. Wanted to keep this one as original as it possibly could. And yeah, that's just the way it'll stay. I'll probably change the guards up and stuff on it just because I don't really like the plastic guards, but they were the best I had at the time. And I might put a side pipe on it as well and get rid of that vertical exhaust, which is off a later model truck. But all in all, yeah, it's good to get it out every now and then. Quite proud of it. Good to see them both lined up. King of the Cabovers. That's my brother's ultraliner. It's an 85 model, one of the very first. Came out with a max 6 cylinder in it. 350. 2 valve, we reckon, one of the very last. And yeah, it's been later retrofitted with a E7 400. Still got the Mach 12 speed. So it's a really good, clean truck. Was with one owner for a very long time, and my brother's had it for about 5 years. It's had an airbag suspension fitted, so it's rides well, and I think in doing that it's protected the cab as well, because they're a plastic sort of cab, plastic fiberglass, and a bit prone to breaking up. But yeah, it's a good one. Good paint, just a good clean looking truck, good original bull bar. This one here is mine. I've seen this in a few videos as well. Windscreen's a bit foggy from someone sleeping in there last night. So it's got the 500, the 400 V8. It's a local truck around here, a grain carting truck from New. About an hour from home, from where I live. Yeah, it's probably never really been too far away from, 2 hours from home its whole life. So it's good to see them all on display. Good to get them together. This is a value liner that belongs to a mate. Sort of speaks for itself. It's very tidy. When he bought it, it was just plain Jane. It was just white with the blue chassis, and it didn't really look any good, and he's put a lot of work into it, and would be one of the best looking value liners around. For the American viewers, yeah, value liner wasn't unique to Australia, but this shape was unique to Australia. Value liner was a model that you guys had over there, but yeah, this is just basically a modified R model bonnet, but it's got longer front springs in it, so they rode pretty well, and they were pretty good truck, and they're still pretty capable, and you still see a few working out and about now. So we'll get into a little bit of stuff here that I don't know too much about. But yeah, this is a truck from down near Yarrawonga, which is down just on the Victorian border. These guys have got a few old trucks. They've got farming country, and yeah, they've done a couple old rockets up. So this little enter here has had a Cummins fitted, like a little 6PT Cummins. No, actually, it might be an 8.3. I'd have to check on that, but anyway, it's a beautiful job, and it's good to see it out and about. He's just done a 2,000k round trip with it before he come here. So yeah, he's pretty happy with how it's turned out. One for the Kenworth lovers here. So by chassis number, this one should fit in somewhere in about 1968, but it was a cancelled order by all reports, and it had a big cab originally, and it was a longer wheelbase. Like I say, cancelled order, and one of the fast freight mobs here in Australia bought it. I think it was a quick as air order, and it ended up with a batch of trucks that got delivered in about 1970. So originally, I'm pretty sure it had an 871 GM, and it's later or since been fitted with an 892, so it's got plenty of get up and go. Not a whole lot of wheelbase about it, so I think it'd probably be a little bit rough to ride in, just at a guess. It's a little bit like the Ryco 4-spring, but very early model, or a little bit different there. But you can see the 892T, so should have plenty of poke. But yeah, good old colour scheme on it, good looking old truck. An R600 here, 1980 model. Been modified a little bit, but it's had the bunk fitted and the wheelbase lengthened. And this one belongs in Wodonga now. We'll go up here and have a look at this one. It's another R600. Bloody dead bodies everywhere around here. Big night last night by the look of it. So this is a fairly late R model. So I think it's an 84, this one, possibly 85. Been tidied up a little bit, but it was a pretty tidy truck to begin with. Non-factory sleeper, but it's been very tidy inside, had a nice trim job, and the bloke who's got it now has just fitted a few accessories and blinged her up a little bit, so yeah, always takes a lot of pride in what he does. Yeah, so anyway, I'll just go for a bit of a walk now. Hopefully this camera's not too shaky for you. Some good stuff here. Not a huge truck display, but just a good collection of stuff. And, a lot of tractors over here under the pines. That's the appeal of this show. It's all pretty casual. It's in under the trees, and we had a little bit of rain last night, which is a bit of a bugger, but yeah, it won't halt proceedings or anything. So yeah, this is a Steiger Panther. It's got the Cat 3406 in it. I think it's an A motor. It's got the long snout on the front of the fuel pump. Someone might be able to correct me there, but that yeah, with that long snout on the injector pump, I think it's an A motor. Yeah, so in the trucks they had these up to about 380 horsepower or 400 horsepower. With the what they had the aftercooler on them. This one hasn't got the aftercooler, so it's just got a straight intake manifold. So I guess that's, you know, possibly something to do with a little bit lower horsepower setting. The Cat blokes will be able to correct me on that, no doubt. Yeah, so this is a tractor that's just been tidied up by a mate of mine, and it was his father's tractor for a long time, and yeah, so it's just getting a well-deserved tidy up. It's done a lot of hours on a laser bucket, which is pretty hard work on them. So they've just renewed a lot of the, I think it's been completely rehosed and cleaned up the cab and done lots of modifications. It's got a cushion hitch on it. So there's a nitrogen cylinder there, a nitrogen accumulator, and yeah, so that hitch set up there for your laser bucket just takes some of the shock load out of the off the tractor, I suppose. It just, yeah, cushions the weight of the bucket on the back of it. Yeah, so those hitches were designed in Victoria, made by a bloke down there. But yeah, pretty cool old tractor. Sold a lot of these in Australia. I'll take you walking through all the tractors here. There's quite a few of them that I don't know the models of, but hopefully you can get the gist of it and it's not too shaky for you. I'll be shaking myself a bit this morning. I had a couple of Richard gears last night. Yeah, a couple of old Deutzes here. Blake's done a good job of them. Brought a few up from Victoria, so he's come about probably 6 or 7 hours to get here. Cabover Dodge coming in there. Sounds like it's got a Perkins in it. Big 60-30 here. People who get to a few tractor pulls in Australia will probably know this tractor. A bloke called Bill Shanley owns it. It's a big tractor collector in New South Wales. And yeah, not too many things beat this tractor. Plenty of power. Plenty of grip to the ground with those back tyres. Couple of old rockets over here. It's good to see all sorts of variety here. Oh, this Deutz came up with those other couple along with the Bulldog there beside it. Yeah, some really good stuff here. A lot of this stuff will be working in the tractor pull later today, which is always good here. Like I say, you can just see the setting in amongst the pine trees and just got a swag of tractors everywhere. It's terrific really. A lot of dedication, a lot of work to get them all here. But yeah, I reckon that 756 International, that'll pull pretty well, I reckon. Plenty of weight in it and looks like it's got a good set of tyres on it. Don't know a lot about these, but a pretty common model amongst restorers, 730. 2-cylinder John Deere. Another old Deutz here. Old Fergie, fairly interesting. Wouldn't want to be sitting on it if that bucket fell. Bit of an interesting one over here. A Sami tractor. And a good dealership. We'll still do have a dealership over in Griffith. D&D Machinery sold them for a long time. And yeah, they sold a few into this area. They did make quite a big tractor, but I don't know if it's here this year or not. It's been here before and it pulls pretty well, but yeah, I think they went alright. I don't know if I'd own one myself, but still it's good to see the variety. Another old Fordson. Maybe an E27. I think that's the model they were. Stand to be corrected on that too. I'll take you for a bit of a walk through this lineup of John Deere's. Pretty impressive. Just get over the fence here. Hopefully it's not electric. We'll come back to these bangers here in a minute, but a lot of work's gone into these Johnnies here. I think one bloke owns a lot of these, so he's a local fella. He's put in a tremendous amount of work, so it's good to see the dedication.
How'd we go?
40-10.
Yeah.
It's the first decent size. 830, I think that was the biggest of the 2 cylinders. Fair size tractor when you look at it. 50-10 there beside it. It's a bit of a monster. Looks like it'd get the power to ground alright too. A lot of work gone into them.
There, she looks racing in.
Everyone's got John Deere's here.
Yeah, mate, if you haven't got a green one, you haven't got one, I don't think. Not a bad collection, eh?
Yeah.
Bloody interesting one, that one. Yeah, really good collection of stuff. Good to see an old Twin City. Don't know what year that'd be, but you'd have to have a guess, probably early 30s. Bit out of my depth here trying to talk about these things, but hopefully the content of the video speaks louder than what I do. Yeah, bulldogs are always popular at these old shows. Always sound like the Channel 7 chopper. Crawler there, I can't imagine there'd be too many of them around. They'd be pretty collectible. Another D, that's they're a good collectible model too, from what a few mates tell me. But yeah, just a terrific lot of work gone into these.
There you go, buddy. Good, mate. Yourself? Good. We're going to see what's happening down here, I think. Pretty quiet down there.
Yeah, anyway, we'll go and have a look at a couple of old trucks over here. Couple of old Australian relics over here. It's good to see. Got a little bit of Steve's place down under about him. Old 575 Dodge. Little petrol V8 in her. Early Acco. That's the first of the shape. AACO, Australian Army Cabover. Pretty sure that's what it stood for. But yeah, that was the first of them with a mesh grille. With the early 354 Perkins. A lot of them out here. Beautiful old AB Inter over here. I really like those grills. If I was going to have one of those Shape Internationals, that's the one I'd get. I went right through from petrol engines up to 160 Cumminses and V8 Cumminses, and yeah, and always a good collectible truck. Old Albion. Pretty sure Leyland used that cab and Dodge did as well on models out here. Definitely a bit of a Steve's place down under set up here. I reckon you'd get probably a couple hundred horsepower out of this thing. Big shout out to Steve. If you're not watching his channel, get over and have a look at it. Steve's place down under. Got some really good stuff. Trucks have come a fair way, haven't they? So this area here at Coleambally, it's all under irrigation, and you can see on the top of it there, it's got the rice growers. It's a bit of a cooperative that was set up here and still going, and yeah, I mean, it's been a huge rice growing area for a long time. Town was the irrigation scheme was started in the 50s and still under irrigation today, and Coleambally is actually a town which is a product of the irrigation scheme. So yeah, not only has it played a big part in its history, it's yeah, like I say, it was actually a town built into the scheme, so it didn't exist before the scheme. Might have been a community here, but that was about it. That's why there is a lot of good, interesting machinery around Coleambally, because there's a lot of farms that were opened up and developed. You know, just farms cleared, ballots opened up into land and that sort of thing, and that's how they came to be. There was all, you know, it's all built around channels and canals, and it's a huge part of it. It still is today. Well, it's Countryman 6, so it must be a 306 Perkins in that old Chamberlain there. Good Australian built thing. I got them fairly close anyway. They did here yesterday was a tractor trek, so they gear up all these old Chamberlains and Massey Fergusons and take them for a drive out on the road. Yeah, so this one's done a bit of driving. It's got all the cab covered in with a bit of canvas, and the old Twin City there next to it, the old Minneapolis Moline. She's a beauty. Got an early rotary pump on that one, diesel. 730 row crop. Would have been a fairly big row crop tractor. Looks like they might have barred that one into place. I don't know if she's a runner. Good to see another old Twin City here. Super 70. Pretty common tractor amongst collectors and enthusiasts now. Got a little 371 Jimmy in them. Made in Western Australia, Welsh pool. Another old restored bulldog, so pretty common at these tractor pools and shows. Yes, as you can see, there's some great variety here, and just don't know how well the camera will show it, but yeah, you get a bit of an idea of just that all the tractors parked in under the pine trees here. It's really good informal show, and yeah, and that's the best part of it. You know, there's still abiding by rules and regulations for the tractor pull side of it. But yeah, generally speaking, it's pretty casual and relaxed, and that's what people like. I don't like all the bullshit and regulations that you might find in the bigger cities. Got a good old Chambo here. Little row of Chamberlains here we'll give you a look at too. And the last of the orange Chamberlains, that one, before they started painting them yellow. Another 70, GM in it. You can see the air cleaner's in a different position on this one. You can see that blower on the side of it. Super 90, that was the biggest of them, of the GM powered tractors. Been nicely restored, makes plenty of noise with that straight pipe. McCormick started up over there making plenty of noise. I'll have to get going here in a minute. There's yeah, a little bit of action over where the tractor pull is, so yeah, just have a look at this old Comfort King here. It's good to see this. Must be an 830. I think it's only a 6-cylinder, 4-cylinder I should say. There's that. 830. Ford County. Bit of an interesting concept, but yeah, this one pulls alright. Just a bloody big Zeta here. Pride of Czechoslovakia. Another county. Yeah, so not an articulated tractor, obviously, just big front wheels with swivel housings on them. Back to where we started from here, just a couple to go. Probably a 930 case this one. Always a good collectible tractor. Good stance about it. Looking forward to seeing it on the track out here to see how it pulls. And you can see it's got the 6-cylinder engine in it. Had the Lenovo combustion chambers on them with the injectors that go in horizontally across the bottom of the head into a sort of pre-combustion chamber, I suppose you'd call it. So yeah, that indirect injection obviously. Yeah, but good old tractor. I think they were a chain drive. These big ones. It's got a hand clutch on it. So no pedal there, you can just sort of see your hand clutch there. You can see that lever coming through the floor in your bell housing here. Yeah, good old tractor. Not the big long guards on them, you could get them in a square guard variety as well. But yeah, it's a classic shape I reckon. If I didn't have Whites and Olivers myself, I'd love to get one of these tractors. Old Comfort King. Here's that big Sami I was talking about before, it was just behind me. So yeah, the big Buffalo 130. So you can see it's a fair lump of a tractor and it gets in and pulls pretty well. Oh, Fiat 1000, it's another good sized tractor. Fix it again Tony, that's what Fiat stands for. But it's a beauty. Been well looked after, there's quite a few Fiat sold out here. Another Johnny, pretty good collection of them. It's probably the best lineup of John Deeres I've seen in quite some time. Couple of restored chambers, good to see them. Good Australian built tractor. Crowd favourite here. The 554 and the 564 were pretty common tractors out here. Old Cat Grader, he come in the other night. She had a bit of a tidy up, or a bit of a paint job anyway. Not sure just what they've done to it, how much they've done, but yeah, it's good to see it here anyway. Variety is the key to these shows. It's not just trucks, tractors or anything, it's a good combination of everything. This is a Cleatrack or Oliver. Yep. A good little machine out here. There's a few sold out here in the 30s and 40s, and Cat have sort of had the mantle since then. C670, first of the yellow tractors as opposed to the orange. Super 90 next to it in its work clothes. Here's an Oliver you might recognise from some of the videos. My 2155. It's actually probably a good time to point out the grills on these tractors. There's another Oliver 1850 there which has got the Perkins motor. You can see the grill on the Perkins powered tractor there is a different shape to the one that's on this 2155. The reason being, this is actually a Minneapolis Moline tractor, and that's the grill they used in the last of their tractors. So this here is just a proper Oliver tractor. That's how they looked, and then they sort of married them into the they started painting them red out here, and they eventually changed the front of them and made a white out of them, which was a bit of a shame in some respects. It's a pretty good tractor, that. Got a good Australian cabin on it. Anyway, that'll just about do us for the video today. I'll try and get a couple more videos later on of the tractor pull, but happy to be able to bring you this video. Thanks for watching, and please subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. Tell your friends about it. Comment on the video. Tell me what I can do better. Tell me what you'd like to see. We'll make it better. That's what it's all about. Alright guys, this is Dave signing off. Have a good day.